everybody, it's good to see you. I'm pumped because I get to talk to you about procrastinating today. Anybody that's jumped on right now, let me know if you procrastinate. Who are the procrastinators amongst us? It's a word that a lot of us know very well, and I'm going to help you totally bust it and decide to take action, to take massive action in your life. Hey Lee, good to see you on here. Just a quick one today before I go pick the kids up from school. This is driving me crazy. I have to straighten it. There we go. So what I want to talk to you today about is procrastinating and why we do it and how we can change it, because you're going to get so much content out there of people that are going to tell you plan it and do this and do that, but it's not about the doing. It's about what's going on in the old grey matter, what's happening in our brain that stops us from taking action. So the first question you'll want to answer is, one, what are you procrastinating about? So I think this will be back to front anyway if I write it. So you write it down. What are you procrastinating specifically? What are you procrastinating on? Secondly, so get really clear about the first thing that you're procrastinating on, and all of us are going to have something in our head that right now we are procrastinating and we're not doing it because we've given reasons X, Y, and Z. We're not doing it because blah, 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 story. So first thing, get super clear, ultra clear, specific on what you're procrastinating on, and I want to hear some. So give me some answers. How did you know I was procrastinating? Because we all do it, just to varying degrees. So what I'm going to do is help create some system strategies, tweak, refine some of the old grey matter up here to help. Jodie's procrastinating on watching You're watching Valentine's Day cat videos. That's hilarious. What are you procrastinating on? So this is the thing, right? What are you procrastinating on? Michelle's watching. You're not a procrastinator. You just get shizzy done. Maybe you should be doing this live, Michelle. Never met anybody like her. She says she's going to do something. She goes boom, 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 boom. And it's done. Okay, so I'm midway through doing a reading. Okay, awesome. And you're watching a cat video while you do it. That's pretty cool. That is multi-talented and multitasking. Okay, so why are we procrastinating? What are we doing on? So first thing, specific. What are you procrastinating on? Secondly, what would it look like if you stopped procrastinating? So get a really clear vision of if you stopped procrastinating, what that might look like. The other question I ask myself when I find myself in the procrastinating behavior or the procrastinating pattern, because that's exactly what it is what am I avoiding? So that's another really good question to ask. What am I avoiding? And it's going to help break the pattern. The other question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I doing instead? So if you're looking through cat videos, like Jodie just said she was, I am no procrastinating today because you don't have the kids, Michelle. You're getting shit done as you always do. And it would be nice, and I would have the amazing new service to offer people. Okay, so you're avoiding the work, because our brain tells us it's work. And nobody wants to do work. So we've got to shift in our mindset that it's the work and sit with it and just do it. But the thing with procrastination, right, is I want you, and this is going to give you a big insight on who you are and why you do it, which is going to help change the pattern. What are you looking at, or what are you doing instead of what you told yourself that you're going to do? Okay, so if you're scrolling through Facebook, what specifically are you feeling drawn to? What are the YouTube videos that you're spending hours watching? What are the people, if you're replying to people, is it the connection that you're craving? If it's just scrolling, where are you stopping and where are you putting your attention? Because a lot of the time we procrastinate because we've created a whole story in our head that it's hard, that it's work, that we don't want to do it, and basically because it's a pattern that we have been taught by those around us. So what I would love for you to do, Michelle Pollitt's just jumped on, hello, is answer those questions. Don't procrastinate on it. Just sit down and answer the questions. When we shine some awareness and some light on the current pattern and what it could be instead, and we get really specific, if you do all these things, because what probably happens is go, yes, I'm a procrastinator and I procrastinate. And then that creates more of the energy and vibration of procrastination. So let's narrow it down. Let's get super specific. Jody is procrastinating by watching my live videos. So maybe you'll find that you are interested in personal development, connection, the way the brain works, all the stuff that I do. Maybe you want to run your own workshop. Maybe it's these massive big biceps. Oh, look at those puppies that have got you mesmerized and keep coming back to watch my stuff. That too, but you both bring up my vibes. So yeah, maybe it's you're watching somebody that makes you feel really energized and energetic and valued and valuable. So then I say, whatever you're procrastinating on, let's have a look at it and how can we link it to the thing that you're doing or you're watching or you're procrastinating with. So if you're scrolling, you're YouTubing, you're watching my lives, why? And then what we're going to do is link that why with what you're procrastinating on. But even at a deeper level, we're going to ask ourselves, particularly if you're procrastinating with work, is it because it needs a change? Is it because you need a realignment? Because for me, the things I'm inspired to do, I don't procrastinate on. I get in there, I do it, and it gets done. Another little tip for you all is because I would sit down and I'd just be completely overwhelmed because I've got this much work to do, and I could find myself going into the pattern of just replying to things, cleaning up, tidying, and then I got in my brain that everything had to be tidy before I sat down and actually started my content creation or started my videos or doing whatever I wanted to do. Everything just had to be in place. But that's not income producing, guys. If you're running your own business, which a lot of you are that watch my stuff, or you're wanting to run your own business and be responsible for your own income, it doesn't matter if stuff's tidy. In the interim anyway, you just got to get those income producing jobs done. So there's a whole belief system, a whole thought process going on behind why you're procrastinating. So maybe you're not inspired by it. So we're going to link it and give it to you to something that is inspiring to you. And then you can link that value into what you are doing. Any questions? Michelle says, I'm just making love with myself. Hey, Michelle, I'm really bad at procrastinating. Or maybe you're really good at it. Maybe you're really good at procrastinating. If you do procrastination and you do the pattern really well, it means you can also do the opposite really well. If you're inspired to do something, you're not going to procrastinate on it. So sometimes you have to trick our brain into just getting it done. So the little tip I was telling you before I got distracted was every time I sit down to do my work, because I've got so much to do, massive lists of things to do, from pixie cards to masterminds, online masterminds, online billing subscription. So I'm working all that out now. I've got 2 staff that work for me now, so giving them their jobs. The pixie cards are coming out. There's an event attached to that. I had 2 half-day workshops this week. We've got a meetup coming up next month at Forest Lake. We've got another meetup the following month. I've got the retreat in less than a month, and there's about 10 other things on that list as well. Building funnels for the website, all sorts of things. So you've got to understand, and all the merchandise. We've got so much merchandise and blah, blah, blah. You can imagine when I sit down, I've got 2 kids, my husband's in and out, that I could sometimes go into procrastination because I'm in overwhelm. So the tip here that you want to take away is pick one thing. I have one thing now that's very clear, that has a very clear path and a very clear pattern. It's important to me, so I do it every time I sit down at the desk. Because what used to happen is I'd walk in and I'd sit down at the desk and I'd allocate myself 40, 45 minutes, maybe an hour to get shit done. After that 45 minutes, my desk was extremely tidy and everything else had been tidied and people had been replied to, but ain't none of the work got done 45 minutes later. Like I work in blocks of 20 or 40 minutes because that's all I have with the kids, in between kids and clients and all sorts of, and washing and all sorts of things. So what you're going to do is pick one job that needs to be done every single day, and maybe you could even do it a couple of times a day. And what happens is it gets you into the mood. It gets you into more of the flow. So then you start flowing with everything and it's so much easier to get it done. Otherwise, I sit there and I faff about and I don't get anything done, and I'm tricking myself that I'm being really productive and getting stuff done, but I'm not. I'm just tidying, I'm just moving stuff around my desk, I'm just replying to people, which yes, needs to be done. But through the day, I'm a morning person, so I'm most creative, I'm most energetic when I first wake up in the morning, right up to probably 3 or 4 o'clock. And I work after the kids go to bed as well. So as the night goes on, my creativity levels and my energy levels start to go down, preparing me for sleep again. So it makes sense to me that I can do all the replying, I can do all the menial tasks at night when I'm going to bed. So when I feel like I've had a super productive day, that's when I do all my replying, that's where I do all my faffing. The second thing that you want to ask yourself, guys, is this is a really important question. I'm just waving to everybody. I can't remember what the question is now, but you've all been waved to, so that's the main thing. Let me know while we're talking right now, before I go grab the kids, what are some areas in your life that you're procrastinating on? Tell me. I want to know. Everybody on this call, there's several of you, is procrastinating on one thing right now. Let me help you. You don't have to pay $300 to $500 to come sit with me in my office for me to help you. You've got me now on the live. Tell me what you're procrastinating on. I can guarantee if I take you through this process, you will stop procrastinating on it. And even if you don't get picked to go through the process with me, you listening to me do it with the other person will be able to help them as well. So who's procrastinating on what? Do it, Michelle, doing content for Soul School. Why? What specifically are you procrastinating on? Which part of it? The table? Tell me which part. There might be a bit of a delay. It's really hot in here. My hair's got to go up, I think. So Michelle says she's procrastinating on the content for Soul School. So give Soul School a bit of a plug. It's only $590 and it's a 4-week online intensive course. And she's going to bring your spiritual soul out of the cupboard and wring it out. And no, she's going to help you heal and go through that process. So the feeling that's come up now, Michelle just said she's procrastinating because she's scared. So if you're procrastinating on something, there's a belief system that's stopping you from doing it. We need to open up the gates. What are you scared of? Feeling not good enough. Okay, good. Have you got a fear neutralization? You're part of the 4 Weeks to Freedom Mastermind. Go and fear neutralize it right now. So go into a time in the past where you have done something and it didn't work, and go through that whole process. So now I want to take you, so you can do that after, but what I want to do is take you to when that's done. How is it going to feel when it's done? Just imagine the Soul School content completely and utterly finished. The other thing that we're going to link to it, so go with that feeling. I'm too busy watching you, ha ha ha. And it's so funny because you were doing that live on Guild before, and I was really keen to watch it. I watched about 20 minutes, I think, and then I had to get the subscription stuff, which I really had to concentrate on, automated and sorted out before I go pick the kids up from school. So I was like, I'll listen to that while I will drive. But I was kind of procrastinating on that because I didn't know how to do it. And I've worked out about my brain and humans that we like to know what we're doing. And when we have to do something new or different and it's not in the regular routine, we can tend to procrastinate. Who knows what I'm talking about? If it's not in your regular routine, look at the theme of the things that you're procrastinating on. It's not cleaning your teeth at night. It's not eating your dinner. It's not getting up and putting your shoes on, because we have trained our brain to go there. So all we need to do is, when you procrastinate, is train your brain. A big part of the reason for procrastination sometimes is because it's not within our normal daily routine. We want to start these new things. We want to start a business. We want to publish a book, publish a deck of cards, start my mastermind. It's not in my daily routine. So I started putting into my daily routine and allocating time for creating content. And then when I would sit down, I would do my little job, and then I'd write up on my board as what's the most income producing job right now. So I'm setting myself up little rules, so it's guiding me through my day from one step to the next step. Because particularly if you're running a business and you're the sole breadwinner, or you're looking at coming into your own business and being an entrepreneur from somebody else paying you a regular wage, you need to make the money to pay the bills and buy the food. So what is my most income producing job right now, and get started with that. The other thing that I say in my head is, just do it for 10 minutes. Just sit down and nut it out. Give yourself 10 minutes. You can do this, as a Tony saying, you can do anything for 10 minutes. And I used to do it with the book, because I'd procrastinate on writing the book because I was scared. I didn't know how. It wasn't in my daily routine. And then I would say to myself, you can do anything for 10 minutes. Just allocate 10 minutes to it. Just sit down and nut it out for 10 minutes. And then guess what? Then I'd get into it. I'd get into flow. So this is what I want for you guys. I want you to get into flow, because once you're in flow state, you will have it done. You're procrastinating and taking so long to take that next step, and then one day goes past, 2 days goes past, 3 days go past, 4 days go past. You could have had it done in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, possibly even an hour. The other thing I used to do is make it in my head so much bigger and longer and harder than it had to be. Like I had a job and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to use the computer. That's going to be so hard. But the reality of it was I started timing my stuff. I even timed, what was it this morning? I timed making lunches because I'm like, oh my God, this seems every morning, it seems to take me so long. It takes me 17 minutes, which is far too long. I need to refine it and make it smaller. But I was like, I was thinking it was taking about 45 minutes. So time your stuff. And then you'll realize it's not as long or hard or scary as what you think. So Michelle, go ahead and do that content planner. Just sit down, commit to 10 minutes, imagine it done. And then I want you to take yourself out of yourself, because we're making it, when we're scared, we're making it about ourselves. What if I fail? What if this happens? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't know? Well, that's all whatever. We can stay in that, or we can go, stuff that for a minute. Who's this going to help? Who needs this? And when you tune into those energies and you tune into those people, you will get on the horse and you will get the job done, because it's not about you, it's about helping somebody else. And that's why a lot of people procrastinate, because they're not living their soul purpose. If you don't know what you're on the rock here for, if you don't know your soul purpose, you're going to be fluffing about, faffing about, and just going like this through life. You're not going to have any direction, which was me for a really long time, and probably some of you as well. When we had the half-day workshop in here the other day, there was about 12 people here, and nearly every single one of us was like, well, why are you here? Because I'm lost. I don't know who myself. I lost myself in parenthood. I lost myself in my job. I don't know who I am anymore. If we don't know who we are, how can we create content to help other people feel fulfilled and move on with their life? So sit down. In my monthly mastermind, there'll be a whole process, a whole month themed around finding your soul desires. When you find your soul desire, which is already in there, it's in you, it's just not in your conscious mind, because we haven't been taught to think like that. When we can pull it in and we draw it in and we're certain and we're clear and we wake up and we insert it into the conscious and the subconscious brain, you will take action like a mofo. You will take action like nobody's business. You'll get to the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the year, like I did this year, and look back on the year and go, how was that even humanly possible? How did I publish a book, get my pixie cards done, run retreats, while my husband's coming and going, my kids are growing up, having tantrums? You can do it too. And a big part of it is knowing the soul desire. So if you want to know more about that, you're going to want to jump on, DM me, direct message me, personal message me, whatever it's called, and ask me about the monthly mastermind. I'll send you some information. Basically, it's a subscription model. There's a theme for each week. The $50 ones are sold out. So it's $80 a month, which I think everybody can afford, because it's going to help you make more money. And it's really going to help just literally transform your life. So if you're interested, you're keen, you want to change, you want to go through these processes, the procrastination buster is in there, which is the exact process, the paradox resolver, which I use, the fear neutralization, refined and tweaked and changed again from the previous mastermind, and all the strategies that I used to do one-on-one with people. Like they used to come in here and I would do it. Then I did it in a workshop setting and retreat settings. And now I'm like, I'm online, I can help more people. Did I procrastinate initially? Yes. Do I still procrastinate sometimes? Yes. But I know the processes. All these questions that I've asked you, make sure you write them down and you sit and you answer them. It's not hard. It will help you bust the procrastination. I will take you through the process in the monthly mastermind. It's called the Paradox, not the Paradox Buster, Resolver, the Procrastination Buster. It's a series of questions. It's a table. It's quite in depth. It was really clunky for me the first time I did it, but once I learned how to do it, I can just do it like that now. So no more procrastination, and it's just about taking action. Sometimes I choose to rest and relax, and that's fine, but there's not this iPhone storage is full. I need a new phone. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's take action. Let's make a difference. Let's get clear about our soul purpose. Michelle, get that. I'll check in tonight, even if you just get 10 minutes of it done, of the Soul School content, the first couple of days, the first couple of weeks, whatever it is. Let's get it done. I'm going to pick my kids up. No more procrastination.